Self-love isn't selfish. It's how you stop silencing your true self. Welcome to Overthinking to Outthink. This is the podcast for introverts who think deeply, feel intensely, and want to succeed without pretending to be an extrovert. I'm Drew, and today we're going to tackle a struggle that all of us have as introverts. And it's a constant because your nagging voice in your head just keeps telling you that you're not enough and that you're doing it wrong and that you should be more like others and more like the extroverts. Well, does that sound familiar? Well, today we're going to come up with some solutions to be able to fix that. I'm going to show you how to stop that self-criticism and to embrace your strengths and build that quiet confidence without appearing selfish or arrogant. By the end of this episode, you're going to know how to break the cycle of negative self-talk that just keeps you stuck. And you're going to use practical introvert-friendly steps that builds self-love and self-trust. And you're going to recognize self-love as a strength and not a weakness. And finally, you're going to stop silencing your voice and start living authentically, just as you are. And why is self-criticism such a trap for introverts? Well, let's be real. Introverts are often our own worst critics, right? And why is that? Because we're wired to think and overthink everything, right? Essentially our mistakes, our words, and how we're perceived. One thing that we often tell ourselves after overthinking situations is, man, I should have spoken up. Or, why did I sound so awkward in that meeting? Or, I'm just not cut out for this. How often have you put yourself in that situation because of your overthinking it and you're just not confident within yourself to be the person that you were born to be as an introvert? But let me tell you something, that voice is not your truth. It's your inner critic. And you know what it's actually doing is it's keeping you small. Every time you criticize yourself, you're chipping away at your confidence and reinforcing the belief that you're not enough. If you're feeling overlooked at work just because you're not the loudest in the room, grab my free 10-day quiet visibility plan cheat sheet and learn the simple steps to get noticed without faking extroversion or draining your energy. This cheat sheet is going to give you actionable, introvert-friendly strategies to build quiet confidence and to finally get seen and noticed. So download it now and start making your mark quietly but powerfully. Look for the link in your show notes. Well, breaking that cycle starts with total awareness. You've got to learn how to notice when you're being harsh to yourself and ask yourself, would I say this to a friend? Or if not, it just doesn't belong in your mind. Well, I'm going to give you 5 steps to silence that inner critic without losing who you are, losing yourself. Step 1 is simply to name the critic. That's right. Give that voice a name. The doubter, the overthinker, the perfectionist. Naming it is going to help you separate you from the voice. Step 2 is to replace judgment with curiosity. Instead of saying, why did I mess up? Ask, what can I learn from this? Because curiosity breaks the shame cycle. It really does. Step 3 is to write a compassion letter. Yes, really. Write a letter to yourself as if you were writing to a friend, and be kind, honest, and supportive. And then what you're going to do is reread it to yourself whenever self-doubt just pokes its ugly head in there. Step 4 is to set some boundaries with yourself. When that voice in your head gets too loud, you need to step away. Whether it means taking a walk or breathing deeply, getting your breathing in order. Basically, just telling yourself, this thought does not define who I am. And then step 5, you're going to practice some micro self-love moments. Yes, you're going to have some moments with yourself, but self-love doesn't mean spa days and affirmations, even though those things are pretty awesome, I gotta say. It means choosing rest or just saying no and then giving yourself some credit for just small wins. Every day there's a win out there. You just got to find that win and then just don't be so harsh on yourself and just give yourself credit for that win. Because some of the negative things that happens if we don't make any kind of changes is that we have that constant self-doubt and overthinking that just erodes our confidence. It just makes you feel like you're never doing enough. And even when you're feeling exhausted, you really need to get that rest and just to go and re-energize. So in order to get that transformation that you're looking for, you need to learn how to identify and silence that inner critic. Those 5 steps are going to help you get there and to discover simple mindset shifts to replace self-criticism with that self-compassion that you just need for yourself. And start embracing self-love as a strength and not selfishness. If you start using some of those steps, you don't have to hit every one of the 5 steps, but try to get into a cycle or into the momentum of using these steps, because you're going to break free from that cycle of self-criticism and guilt. And you'll stop replaying those mistakes over and over in your head and start focusing on solutions. And to recognize that self-love isn't about pushing others away. It's just about making space for your own authentic self. It's simple as that. So stop seeing boundaries as rejection and start seeing them as protection. And take small but powerful steps without pushing others away. It's about making space for your authentic self. Take small but powerful steps towards self-acceptance and quiet confidence. It's time to start owning your worth and to build your confidence by not being loud or showy or somebody you're not. So let's recap those 5 steps. 1 is to name the inner critic. 2 is replace judgment with curiosity. 3 is to write that self-compassion letter. 4 is to set those boundaries for yourself. And then 5 is to practice micro self-love moments. But let's start with something simple. This week, just pick just one of those steps and practice it daily. And then notice how it starts shifting your inner voice. Well, you got your quick steps today. You made it. So if this episode gave you a moment of relief from yourself, your inner critic, just follow it with a fellow introvert who needs a reminder of their quiet power. And don't forget to leave a review. Leaving a review is going to help me get my message out to more introverts. We need to help each other out. We need to stick together because there's so many of us that just don't know how to get to that next step so that you can get that raise or promotion or start your online business because that self-love or that confidence just isn't there. But you know what? You have all it takes. Everything you have as an introvert are powerful to get to that next step. So remember, your analytical mind isn't what's holding you back. It's your greatest strength when you know how to use it. So until next time, keep thinking deeply and moving forward. But most of all, you be you. Thanks for listening to Overthinking to Outthink, the podcast where introverts rise, reflect, and rewrite the rules. If this episode gave you a mindset shift, a breakthrough, or just the clarity you've been looking for, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, follow, and drop a review. Your words help this message reach more deep thinkers like you. Remember, your analytical mind isn't holding you back. It's your greatest strength when you know how to use it. Until next time, keep thinking deeply, keep moving forward, and most of all, you be you.